Each week, American History TV's Real America brings you archival films that provide context for today's public affairs issues.
The Canadian government had already carved out a series of 5 airports between Edmonton, Alberta, and Whitehorse, Yukon Territory. And there were other fields in Alaska between the Yukon border and Fairbanks. With Canada's consent, the United States War Department decided to build a military highway from Rails End at Dawson Creek, British Columbia, to Fairbanks, Alaska, to link up and supply these airfields and to provide emergency access to Alaska for troops and materiel. This highway would extend roughly 1,500 miles, about the distance from Washington to Denver. The frontier town of Dawson Creek saw the arrival of the 1st Army Engineer Troops in March 1942. In all, there were 7 engineer regiments, or about 10,000 men. Their immediate job was to break through a pioneer road, a road without frills, but a road which could be used to supply the airfields and to construct a permanent road later. All spring and summer, the troops hacked, cut, and gouged their way through the wilderness. There were colored as well as white troops. Both did their full share. They cut around mountainsides and across valleys. They built bridges over mountain torrents and full-fledged rivers. Finally, on the 20th of November, 1942, 8 months after the first troops plunged into the northern bush, the pioneer road from Dawson Creek to Fairbanks was officially opened. The freight rolled through. Fairbanks, the northern terminus, founded 40 years ago as a gold mining camp, was already a modern little American city in the heart of the Alaskan wilderness. Of course, the highway was still largely a winter road, usable in some sections only when the ground was frozen. Its bridges were temporary, and many of them would be washed out by the ice and floods in the spring. Even during the winter, bridges over active streams were sometimes covered by ice, and logs had to be laid across them and cemented in place by water to keep the trucks from breaking through. And there were other hazards. Active springs built up mounds of ice that had to be fought constantly. When culverts plugged up and ice mushroomed over the road, it had to be cleared, even at 40 below. Or a truck might stall in a rut or ditch where ice was forming, and while the driver went for help, it would be frozen fast. At many points, the grades were too steep, especially when they became icy.